Greetings, I'm Zak, and today I'm going to be doing another physical media unboxing for you. But first, I wanted to tell you a bit more about Ultraman. Now, obviously, I am a big Godzilla fan, a Gamera fan, but in a tiny little niche of that kind of kaiju giant monsters market, there is a thing called Ultraman. Now, in the UK, I am certain that it is by no means the most popular thing in the world. People over in America, on the other hand, have probably heard about it, maybe even seen a few of the episodes. Because accessibility-wise here in the UK, yeah, it's a bit difficult to get hold of the episodes. But essentially, this entire saga kind of starts off with me when I was at like a collectibles shop and I saw this action figure dangling from one of like the rafters on the roof. Now this is of the original like Ultraman figure. To equate it to anything else, it would be the likes of Green Lantern but with giant monsters. It's probably the best way of describing it for those that don't know what Ultraman is. So in this saga I saw that very faintly it was written on there that this was 50p. I subsequently discovered that this figure that was boxed, and is boxed, sorry, should I say, basically they were asking for about £15 for this in hand. Now, at the time, I did have a couple of other things. I believe I had a Dalek at the time, and maybe even a sonic screwdriver from Doctor Who, and basically it came to this point where I'd had this like on my scope for a while, and being quite young, I like got the courage up to like ask to see how much it was and things, and thankfully at the time they did a marvellous deal for me, and I did actually get it for the 50p, sorry, which I was mightily impressed with, which is probably why I recounted this story today. But that basically drew me into obviously the whole Ultraman scene, because it's like, this is obviously a very popular thing to the scale and the scope of like Godzilla, but obviously more of a series instead. That drew me to seek out Ultraman, the original series, on DVD, just to give it a watch, see what it was like from Mill Creek. And to be fair, I reasonably enjoyed the entirety of the series. It was obviously lots of really quite wacky and bizarre monsters chucked into like a half-an-hour episode in varying stories of bizarrity is probably a good way of putting it. But further to this, now years later, I'd kind of put like seeking out any further series to bed. And I do remember there was a time when I was working on set at Elstree Studios, I believe, that I was looking up the Blu-ray equivalents of the Ultraman stuff. Now, on that front, I was unsure whether or not the region coding would be an issue, because at that time I didn't have a multi-region player, and I didn't want to fork out the money to get this thing turn up that I wasn't going to be able to play. So I am not entirely sure what reason it was, but years later, so we're talking this year, 2025, I suddenly got reminded of those events, that sequence of events, and basically decided to take the punt, considering we had the multi-region player now, and I picked up a box set of Ultraman. Now, it wasn't the Blu-ray equivalent of the original series, it was actually Series 5, Ultraman Ace, which I have here. And what I can happily tell you, and to all those people out there who might be interested in Ultraman, is that all of the Mill Creek Blu-rays, I have indeed got some Gamera ones here, as you saw in a previous video, and I believe there might be another one or two somewhere in that Godzilla-y side of things. But even though the box says Region A, so obviously for America, I can reassure you that the discs, the Blu-rays of Mill Creek, are region free, which is going to be a great sigh of relief for kaiju fans out there in the UK, because there isn't a UK release of this, I'm afraid. You're going to have to get it imported, or somebody's going to have to do that in order to get it to you. I've picked up quite a few of the box sets of these off of eBay from sellers in the UK, but there are other occasions where I couldn't do that, so I had to pick them up from, obviously, the US. Obviously, thankfully, should I say, without incidents on the postage front. Just referring back to the Captain Kronos video I did previously to this. So, going on to this, I have cracked on with basically 17 episodes of this series so far. I can thankfully say that I didn't need to watch anything prior to this in order to basically pick it up straight away, because it is a bunch of weird kaiju fun, and some episodes that I wasn't particularly excited about watching ended up being some of my favourites, which I found really quite fun. So opening this up, obviously, let's just do a quick 360. Ultraman Ace, Series 5, you will notice that there is this bit on the side. Now, if I did get more, and I've got a couple, but not all of them, all 7 of the first, batch, shall we say, the Showa era of Ultraman, they do line up into a nice little diorama type thing. They all line up and it looks really cool. So I am actively seeking out some more of these just so I can complete that, because it will look pretty cool on a shelf. Let's not get that wrong. So obviously this is like the more standard edition. I do like the look of that side thing, but there is also like a steelbook version of these as well, which is also quite sought after. So I don't think I'm seeking those out at the moment, but I've noticed that in some instances I might have to get the steelbook as opposed to this one, because I can't quite track these down as easily. But anyway, I'm going a bit off topic there. So, opening this up, we do have, of course, the box, Ultraman Ace on the front. Oh, blimey, I'm not entirely sure how I describe this particular monster on my Letterboxd reviews. Now, if you'd like me to actually share my Letterboxd reviews of all of these episodes, I have deliberately made those quite funny and humorous to read. I can read them out on videos if you would like me to share them, but if not, you can just check out my Letterboxd profile and look up Ultraman Ace and see the hilarious reviews. I think I described this one as horny missile monster or something. That sounds a bit weird out of context. I understand that now, so don't bite my head off. Anyway, so in the box, let's open this up. There is a probably far out of date digital redeem code that is available. I'm just going to lay that down to the side because you don't need to see that. Basically, here we have all the discs. Disc 1, we have episodes 1 to 9. Disc 2, which is where I'm at the moment, we've got episodes 10 to 18. Disc 3, episodes 19 to 27. Disc 4, episodes 28 to 36. Disc 5, episodes 37 to 44. And finally, Disc 6, episodes 45 to 52. So we've got 52 episodes of Ultraman Ace in here, which is quite a lot of Ultraman to plug into. You will notice that there is like a disc retention hub here that doesn't have a disc in it. Do not worry about that. They have all, in some way or another, got something like this, and I can assure you that there is no discs missing, so don't be put out of joy if you order one of these and find that that is the case, because it is supposed to be like that, so don't worry about it. But anyway, that is obviously the discs in the box. However, ladies and gents, we do also have a very lovely designed little booklet here, a very premium quality that I wasn't expecting. So if I just flick through here, it's got so much like behind the scenes info and little like plot synopses of all the episodes. I'm not going to read too much into those because I kind of wanted to leave that open to the actual episodes themselves to kind of find out what was going to happen. But I will tell you that some of the episode titles in here are absolutely crazy. Okay, they're absolutely crazy. Like, I can go for one of the episodes I've actually seen. What was it? One of the episodes I found recently that was quite fun was Scary Story of the Cattle Godman. That was quite fun. Equatable to the likes of the Wolfman or some kind of werewolfy type thing, but it's the wrath of 6 million cows. Sounds extremely weird. That's only because it is, but that is part of the fun. When it comes to Ultraman, I will say that. There you go. Terrible Monster is 10 Women. What a title. So, in that particular one, sounds absolutely bonkers, but aliens are controlling a monster that can disguise itself as 10 cyclists. They then kind of merge together and then form the monster that the Ultraman then actually fights. That sounds absolutely crazy, but that's only because it is, and that is 100% part of the fun when it comes to the Ultraman series. So obviously being 17 episodes in on this particular season of Ultraman, I am happy with it. It has encouraged me to pursue some more of the box set, so do expect maybe some further unboxings depending on how well this particular video does in the future regarding Ultraman. But I can reassure you, if you are in the UK, they are region free. They will play in your Blu-ray player regardless of whether you've got a multi-region player or not. So that's pretty cool. But there we are. I hope you enjoyed this little bit of a unboxing of Ultraman Ace. It has been quite fun to kind of dig that out and recount that tale of the Ultraman action figure. I am kind of tempted, considering it is kind of a very niche market with these, that the actual collectible figures side of the Ultraman stuff is relatively cheap in comparison to the Godzilla side of things, which is obviously like the main kind of giant monster kaiju market, if you will. So I might have to track a couple of those particular vinyl monsters down. You can see one here actually being ridden by Obsidian Fury from Pacific Rim Uprising. Oh, it's just giving him a little backpack. So this one is called Gamora, who is one of the main antagonists of the original Ultraman series. But anyway, let's not get too ahead of myself when it comes to these things, because if, let's say, I got a bundle of those, for instance, I would happily do a video on it and share it with you, just to kind of give you a bit of a collection update when it comes to the collectibles side of things, because I dare say you would enjoy watching that as much as I would enjoy making it for you. So, if you have any questions regarding Ultraman and the like, and whether or not you have any recommendations as to potential places I can pick up for the series, I believe that to create this little picture thing that kind of comprises the first 7 box sets, I think that begins with Ultra Q and then ends on Ultraman. Oh, what is it? It's either Taro or Leo. But anyway, until I can fully create all that, I'll say ta-ta for now, ladies and gentlemen, and I will see you in a future video, potentially talking about Ultraman.